Have you ever had someone close to you say, "What's wrong? I can tell by looking at you that something is bothering you." That can also work in the opposite way when we see someone that's smiling a lot. We may say, "Wow, you look like you're in a good mood. What's up?" The happiest people know that how they use their bodies has a profound impact on who they are and those around them. We have a mind, body, and soul. And we are happiest when all three parts of who we are work together in harmony and we have personal integrity. In other words, we are living our lives in a way that matches what we believe to be true. Here's a silly example. There are those people that like to wear socks and sandals. Your core belief may be that socks and sandals go against your dress code. If tomorrow you wore socks and sandals just to please a friend, the whole day you would feel like you were lying with your feet. A silly example, I know, but if we can lie with what we wear on our feet, that means that we can lie with our bodies in other ways. Let's go a little deeper with this idea and talk about how things get really confusing with dating relationships and speaking with our bodies. Our culture tells us that to be happy in our romantic relationships, that sex equals love, and that without sex in a relationship, we can't be happy. And the reality is that sex communicates a language through our bodies of permanence or long-lasting commitment. As a result, sex outside of marriage is lying with our bodies. If this sounds strange, that's okay, because you probably have never heard it put this way before. Let's take a moment to look at biology to better understand this. Do you guys remember that old school song from elementary school? It went something like this. Joe and Susie sitting in a tree, K-I-S-S-I-N-G. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes little Joey in a baby carriage. How is it that we knew the truth better when we were in elementary school than we do when we get older? Our bodies speak a lifelong commitment that is ready to receive and raise children when we engage in sex. Sex was once called the marital embrace. Why? Well, because it was meant for marriage, and that's God's wisdom. In fact, our faith teaches that sex is meant to be unitive and procreative. Another way of saying that is bonding and babies. In marriage, we continue to build a special bond with our spouse through sexual intimacy, and in God's plan, that means we are also open to the possibility of children. There is also scientific evidence that our bodies are made for lifetime commitments when it comes to sexual intimacy. Have you ever heard of oxytocin? It has been labeled the cuddle hormone. In fact, it is a hormone released by mothers after they give birth and when they nurse their babies. The oxytocin released helps them to bond. And this same hormone is released between men and women through kissing and when they are sexually intimate. This bonding hormone is an incredible gift to married couples. But when a relationship is temporary and it ends quickly, it really hurts because we weren't made for brief sexual relationships. The world around us would say sex is no big deal. It's just a physical act for pleasure. And the reality is, so many people are damaging their ability to bond because they've had so many broken sexual relationships before they finally get to meet their future spouse. Does this mean that if someone has sex outside of marriage, that they're doomed? No, of course not. And with God's help, there's healing and new beginnings. But it can come with a lot of pain and heartache that is totally unnecessary. The happiest people know that sex is meant for marriage, and they can choose to wait. You heard it here, folks. You have a choice. I believe in you and your ability to choose happiness with God's help. Remember, God has given you free will to choose happiness.